Mere seconds away from engines firing up and heading out onto this 1 mile oval short track, very flat, banking in the turns from 2 degrees to 7 degrees, and each team about ready to take it on. As far as 30 minutes of practice is what they're going to get, and looking forward to every minute of it. And actually different strategies. Some crew chiefs might say, hey, hold on a minute, because it's a green racetrack.
So if weather was out, wasn't even in question, I would sit on pit road and give it 5 or 6 minutes. We had a modified race earlier. We've had jet dryers on the racetrack, and all of that's going to change how the track's going to drive. Both of the sprinkles in the area, I don't think you can afford to miss some of this practice. Kim.
You just saw the car of Kyle Larson sitting on pit road. Don't expect them to be the first out. Cliff Daniels just came on the radio, told his driver, I like to see a handful of cars get 1 or 2 laps at speed before I put you out there, just to make sure everything is clear and good to go.
And we're seeing that right now, more than a handful of cars out on the track. We'll see at what speed they take on this track.
Well, it's going to be busy. We saw, normally we see groups. It's been a long time since we've seen all 36 put out at practice at once, so it's going to be a busy racetrack.
Yeah, different teams have different ideas. You see right here, 3 of the Gibbs teams sitting on pit road. They're sitting there waiting it out. Their youngest driver, Ty Gibbs, he is not sitting there waiting with them.
Looking for experience.
I think that's fair. I mean, I would definitely be swayed one way with Denny Hamlin, maybe the other way with Ty Gibbs.
Denny Martin and Christopher all sitting on pit road, while there are a few cars out on track. And there's Ty Gibbs. Tyler Reddick's the fastest lap turn so far at 30.64 seconds.
The other thing to consider, they're talking about weather all weekend. So, this race may start with this exact same condition, with no rubber on the racetrack, a fresh racetrack right after the rain. So this is a great opportunity to gain some experience.
It wouldn't shock me if the fastest lap of a run comes, run maybe lap 6 or 7. You got to start with such low air pressure. Sometimes it takes you a couple laps. Also, traffic is going to really determine how fast you're going to be able to go, as we see right here in the 54 of Ty Gibbs. And while this isn't maybe the best to get a read on the car, having traffic forces a young driver like Ty Gibbs to kind of change his lane like he will in the race to try to work through traffic.
Chastain, 30.07, fastest lap up to this point that has been turned. And multiple lines being run by virtually everyone out on the track now. And currently the only car that has not left pit road is Christopher Bell in the 20.
And this is kind of the challenge of this racetrack, right? You see the 6 of Brad Keselowski in front of Chastain, and that's forcing Chastain to find a different way through these corners. This is a high entry, running really the second groove. A little bit of a diamond, try to go for the low exit. Tosavar goes to the top of the board in that 77. That's on his 3rd lap on the racetrack. Once again, I expect still to pick up probably 3 or 4 more laps with opportunity to continue to pick up speed.
There's Martin Truex Jr. He's made his way out onto the track. Again, defending race winner from a year ago. Seen a little bit of precipitation on that camera up on the top of the car.
21.
See right here the challenge this racetrack presents. Martin Truex on the very bottom of the racetrack. That is the least amount of banking. But if you're going to pass, that's where you have to find a way to make work.
Shifting, Steve, another aspect of this racing.
Yeah, not only can you downshift to help increase engine RPM, it also will change the way the car balances. When you downshift, if you downshift, what type of RPM setting when you get back to the gas, all can not only help the engine, but also help you know, the balance of the car. And here's the potential weather we talked about. So caution out for weather.
You're seeing the drops on the camera there. And I'm looking through the schedule or the list of drivers. And it's looking like Bell did not complete a lap at speed. There's that radar. We talked about it being all around, but there are just light showers that continue to fall. And this to the point where NASCAR deemed it not safe for them to be out there. So the red flag was thrown and they've been brought back down to pit road. Scoring monitor doesn't have Bell as far as able to complete a lap, although he did leave pit road.
Yeah, you know, Steve mentioned it. You know, don't, if you see your driver and he's nowhere near the top on speed, don't get concerned. There was a lot of traffic on racetrack. It's hard to lay a lap time down.
When this yellow